Over the winter months, we've had a lot of questions come in asking about specific tasks in the garden. Pruning is a significant one. In fact, rose pruning is probably the most asked question just at the moment. When do you do it? Well, now's the important time. And what tools do you need? Well, these are essential. Some good secateurs. Make sure that you've got these bypass. That's the one where the blade actually bypasses the back blade and allows for a nice scissor cut through. There's a few different types of secateurs or pruners out there with different actions. Now, these loppers are what they call anvil loppers. Now, effectively, it's a sharp blade cutting hard against a flat surface right here. It doesn't slice through. And I don't like these as a general comment. And the main reason for it is because as they come in like that, they tend to crush the stems. This leaves the plant open to disease setting in. The next tool you just must have is a long-handled bypass lopper. These heavy-duty pruners can come in an anvil or bypass cutting mechanism. Now, you can get extendable handles as well, but to be honest, my experience is the extension points are a weakness, and under leverage, pressure can snap them. Stick with solid handles. Now, you may also need an extendable reach pruner, something like this, to allow you to get in amongst those difficult bushes. And for the landscape roses, you're going to want some head shears, but not the old hand manual head shear. In this case, a nice mechanical one will do the job beautifully for those types of roses. Now, the one thing that's vitally important with all pruning, particularly with rose bushes who do suffer from diseases, is to make sure that you're sharpening all the blades. And a little sharpening stone like this, just run gently over the top of the blade just before you start the pruning jobs is going to make the world of difference to the cleanness of the cuts. When it comes to pruning roses, you need to know the different rose types and how they're pruned in different ways. The majority of us have two main types of roses: a flora bunda bush type, which produces large clusters of flowers, and the long stem forms known as hybrid tea roses, or HT. There's also climbing roses and landscape roses, and they're all pruned differently. Now, hybrid tea roses produce beautiful big long canes to support those long single-stemmed flowers, but they need to be pruned back about 30 to 50%. You do take out all the old wood or any diseased wood. Make sure that you only use those new, vigorous, strong, light green canes. Reduce those down, you end up with fantastic flowers. Now, one thing you should always do when you're pruning roses is have a jar of white spirits alongside you. So if your secateurs have been cutting in this one, before you move to the next rose, you go and you pop these in there. Make sure the blade has come in contact with that white spirit and it just burns off any diseases, so you don't pass them from one rose to the next. A floribunda rose can be reduced by about 50% of the wood. Your goal here is to remove old wood, diseased wood and overlapping branches. You want to open this up, but not to cut it back too hard so that you end up missing a good network of branches. These will grow out, producing new branches and flower clusters. Climbers are best pruned continuously throughout the year, and this time of the year, it's only about shaping and removing any dead or old wood that lacks vigour. Landscape roses have to be the easiest, and you're probably going to be shocked with what I'm about to do here. Basically, you just hack them back, almost to the ground. Treat them mean and keep them keen, they'll love you for it, springing back with great growth and masses of blooms. Now, the last thing and most important thing to remember is after you've pruned your roses, no matter what type they are, you need to give them a feed, a really good feed, and you don't have to use a specialised rose fertiliser. At the moment, it's all about promoting regrowth, lots and lots of foliage. So give them a good all-purpose plant food and they'll take off and produce a fantastic display of roses in a very short period of time.